I made my first 500,000 naira from hairdressing without having a salon. Back in the university, I didn't have any fancy equipment. I didn't have money for salon. I didn't have anything. It was just my skill, word of mouth, and my passion. My love for hair making started all the way from primary school. I would sneakily make my younger sister's hair, and Auntie Bola would beat the living daylight out of me, and I will still do it again because I actually love it. But then Auntie Bola was a hairdresser too, and so after school we always go to her shop and wait for our dad to pick us up to take us home. And so I would take attachment to sit around my leg and be making hair, and then make my sister's hair, and she will scold me and beat me, and I'll still do it again. So after I did my conventions and I went to secondary school, I went to boarding school, and so I would make hair for my seniors, my juniors, and even my mates, and then they will all offer me provisions, help me to do my chores like fetch water or do anything just for me to be able to make hair for them. And doing that consistently, and over time my skills started improving. I was getting better, and then I remembered that I would start making hair and I will not have the strength to complete that hair. So one time Auntie Chinonso was like, Elizabeth, you can make this hair is beautiful. Who made the hair? She was asking one of my seniors, who made your hair for you? And the person said it was Elizabeth. And then she called me and was like, Elizabeth, why didn't you finish the hair? The hair was fine. I was like, Auntie Chinonso, I was tired. And then she talked to me and encouraged me that, okay, when I start here, I should be able to finish it, and that's when the beauty which comes out. And I can remember her word and how she made me feel like my passion was something, because my dad didn't like it. Growing up, my dad didn't think that hair making or skill is something that you can professionally gain from. He wanted me to focus more on school, so they didn't appreciated it. Neither did my aunt. But Auntie Chin also made me feel like, okay, well, this is a good thing, and she tried to help me hone my skill. And ever since then, I said, starting here and finishing it. And fast forward to when I graduated from secondary school, I entered university, and that is where my story actually begins. You don't need a fancy salon to start making millions in hair making. You only need your skill, consistency, and a good mindset. You can do anything you put your mind to do. I'll be giving you tips on how to excel as a hairdresser even without having a salon. The first one is, how do you even charge your clients? How do you charge them when you do not have a nice aesthetic place, a nice aesthetic salon? You can, but then always remember to put your environment in. Depending on where you are, depending on your target audience, and depending on the kind of client you have. For me, while I was in school, it was students, so I make sure that the pricing I was given was also something I could afford if I go out to make hair. Does that make sense? Do not overcharge them, and always put it in mind that you give them more value than the amount of money they are paying for. This in return will make them come back and patronize you more. And where the one is building trust. Building trust between your customers or with your customers is very, very essential. And in service business like what we are doing, hair making, beauty, makeup, you need to build trust with your clients. Let me give you a story. While I was in school, a lot of my customers are now my family, and they all started from as customers. They will come to my hostel, and I just finished preparing lunch, and then I offered her, okay, will you care for some? And then she said yes, and then I shared it. We ate, we laughed, we gisted, and then we started making the hair. Right? I'm not asking you to go and start cooking food for your customers. You can if you want to, but then you can always offer them snacks like soft drink or something. So the next tip is, start where you are. You do not need to have all the money to start up, because we are in the country we are in Nigeria presently, and so the economy is hard. You do not need to have all the money before you start. If you're a student, start in your hostel. Whoever it is you are, if you're a working class person, start with home service, start in your location where you are. Your customers will find you, your target audience will locate you. When what the value you are giving them is more than their price or the amount they are paying, trust me, they will locate you. If you want tips on pricing, getting clients, or growing your brand, type it in the comment section. I'll be reading it all, and then I'll be creating more videos on it. Your gifts can pay you if you let it. Let's grow together. I am rooting for you guys.